Alright, today we are going to be taking a look at a game for the Sega Genesis, and this is Double Dragon and Battletoads, and it is a really freaking sweet side-scroller beat-em-up. I guess it's Battletoads and Double Dragon. Either way, they're the ultimate team. I personally think it's a lot easier to play as the Double Dragons. The game itself feels just like Battletoads, but I kicked way more ass using Double Dragon characters. So, take that for what that is. But, it's a really good sounding and really good looking side-scroller beat-em-up. And, lots of good cartoon violence to be had here. I don't know if I show it in the end, but one of my favorite parts of this game is, I think it's somewhere around level 3, there are these female characters that are trying to beat you up, and while you're wailing on them, you'll actually grab them by the hair and just start pounding on their face, and it is some top-notch video game violence. And the first time I saw it, I was like, wow. Billy Lee or Jimmy Lee or whoever I was using was just wailing on that bitch's ass. But yeah, I think this game looks good. The graphics are amazing. They're real colorful and vibrant. And if you liked Battletoads, you'll definitely like this game. It definitely, I mean, just look at the heads-up display, I guess you'd call it. Your health bar and all the meters up top. And the enemies and just the graphical style. This looks like Battletoads. And a lot of the levels are very reminiscent of Battletoads for the Nintendo. But there's some, you know, Double Dragon characters in here, too. Now, when I was a kid, I remembered I played this once on Super Nintendo. That's back when I rented a lot of my games because I grew up pretty poor, and there was a local independent rental video store place that just went out of business not too many years ago, probably 2 or 3 years ago. And the only reason they stayed in business as long as they did, competing against, you know, Blockbuster and Hollywood Video and all that, is it was the only place in town that had the back room full of porn, which I never ventured into. Apparently it was a pretty filthy, disgusting place, and sounds like it was my style, so it's a shame I never got to see it. That place did relocate to Riverside, which is probably the shittiest place on the planet, and they just went out of business over there, too. So that sucks. Anyway, this is a Bobo, and I always wondered how the hell did he get into space? He was probably brought here by a malfunctioning conveyor belt. Getting my ass beat. The first time I, you know, went up against a Bobo, I whooped his ass, so I was kinda, you know, taken aback when I was getting my ass beat while recording this. But yeah, I think the graphics in this game are amazing. I've spent a lot of time playing this game over on the old Pioneer Laser Active. I got that over there by my bed, so I play a lot of Genesis games before I go to bed and crap over there on the Laser Active. So this is what I've had over on the Laser Active for the past few weeks, been playing this. I believe I got this complete. pretty sure I got the case for this. And got it for a couple bucks, real cheap at the used game store up the street. Got it for like less than $5. And I like the music in this level. You won't hear me compliment the music on many Genesis games. Super Nintendo had way better sound. There's just a richness and warmth to the Super Nintendo's audio. And a lot of the music on the Genesis is really rough. One of my all-time favorite games, the Lost Vikings, love it on the Super Nintendo. One of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard. Plays and looks exactly the same on the Genesis, except for the sound is awful. So, the people that, oh, I use the Model 1 Genesis because it has better sound and you can use the headphone port to get stereo, why bother? It sounds like garbage. There are some games that sound good, like Gunstar Heroes. I like the music in Gunstar Heroes. The music in this level, I think, is really catchy. But for the most part, Genesis games sound like garbage. I'm sure there's a lot of people that disagree with me, but oh well. This game sounds great, looks great, plays fantastically. Like I said though, I have a much easier time playing this game with Billy and Jimmy versus Rash, Zitz, and other. Which sucks, because I like the Battletoads. I'm more of a Battletoads kind of guy. But that's why I like the levels. You know, a lot of it's very reminiscent. The levels in this game and just the way it looks and feels a lot more like Battletoads. That's why I like this game so much. Eventually, when I'm better at reviewing games, or, you know, someday far off in the future when I get a computer that isn't ancient and can, you know, actually put forth effort into editing video and crap, I'm going to review the Lost Vikings. Like, I really want to review that because it's one of my all-time favorite games, and more people need to know about them, but, you know, I want to put a little more effort into it. That's one of those series where I have almost every version of the Lost Vikings except for the one that's on Amiga CD32. And I will probably never own an Amiga CD32, so... Anyway, this game's terrific. Like, just wailing on people is a hell of a good time. Like, smashing them through the ground with that pipe. It's awesome. You can pick the guys up and throw them around and grab them by the face and just start kneeing them in the mouth. It's a violent game. It's awesome. It's got freaking pipe bombs that you're throwing at some dude. That's not friendly. Yeah, definitely. If you've got a Sega Genesis, you can probably find this game for a couple $, and it's definitely worth owning. It's a lot of fun. And, man, playing Battletoads, this part of the game where you're on the little speeder bike thing, man, what a nightmare. It's not nearly as hard on this. You'll get past it, like, every time. Definitely gonna have to rate this game Mondo Cool. I am a huge fan of it. Like I said, I've kept this in my laser active, and this is what I like to play before going to bed a lot of times when I'm in a Genesis sort of mood. You know, kicking those guys in the face off their little speeder bikes. It's a fun game. If you like beating people up, if you've got some pent-up aggression, it's a great way to let it out. You're just wailing on everybody that dares be on the screen at the same time as you. And a classic staple of games from years gone by, high scores and points. You don't see a lot of that anymore these days. So far, all of the bosses I have encountered have been pretty easy to beat up. Just do that little run kick and it seems to keep them in their place most of the time. But I haven't beat the game yet, so who knows if the boss fights get more challenging. Seriously, look how kick-ass these graphics are. I think this game's an amazing representation of what the Genesis could do. Maybe it's just me. I just think this game looks awesome. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Watch that Dragon Brother wail on these broads. Look at that. Picking her up by the hair and just punching her in the gut. Awesome. Man, this game does have some kick-ass music. First time playing this game, took me a while to figure out how to beat these guys up. Yeah, well, the video's about to run out, so accidentally hit stop on the narration thing, and I didn't feel like redoing it. Oh well. There's a couple more minutes of gameplay. But yeah, definitely pick this game up. It's definitely a Mondo Cool. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around to watch me wail on these chicks, because that just amuses me. You couldn't get that kind of awesomeness on the Super Nintendo back then. Mostly I'm thinking of Final Fight, where they made that purple-haired lady into a scrawny, effeminate-looking, dorky wimp of a man. But anyway, this game kicks a lot of ass. Definitely gets a Mondo Cool rating out of me. If you see it, definitely pick it up. For less than $5, you can't go wrong. I would even go as high as $10 for this game, and that is more than I usually pay for anything. So, definitely pick it up.